Hello everyone, welcome to the video tutorial series of the web development. I am your instructor Varsha Tak. Let's start our today's lecture. So at the end of this video, you will be able to learn about the CSS text property and then we will see the different CSS positioning. Okay, so let's start our lecture series today with the CSS text property. While CSS font covers the most of the traditional space to format your text, CSS text allows you to control the spacing, decorations and alignment of your text. Okay, so that you can do using this CSS text property. The limited functionality are there with the HTML tag, but CSS text property provides the different functionality to format the text, to decorate this text, to define the spacing between letters, to define the spacing between words, etc. So now here you can see these are the different text decoration. Okay, so different text properties are there. So here first one is the text decoration. So here the property name is the text decoration. Then next property is the text indent. That is how much text indent you want to define. That is for the paragraph, etc. Then text alignment. So the property for that is text dash align. Then text transform. The property for that is a text transform. Then white space. For that the property name that is a white space. Word spacing. For defining the space in between the word, the property name is a word spacing. Then letter spacing to define the space in between each and every letter. So that is a letter spacing. Okay. Then line height. So for that the property name is a line height. So now let's start with the property name that is a text decoration. Now the text decoration property is used to set or remove the decorations from the text. That means the text decoration property is mostly used to remove the underlines from the links for design purpose. So for example, you have defined the anchor tag. So in that anchor tag by default underline is there. Now suppose you want to remove that underline, so you can use this text decoration as a none. So that means that underline will be removed. So here the text decoration line through, text decoration overline and text decoration underline and the text decoration none. So these are the different text decorations properties are there. Now next property is a text indent. Okay, so the text indentation property is used to specify the indentation of the first line of a text. Okay, so here H4 the text indent that is a 20 pixel, or you can define it with the percentage also. So text indent that is equal to 30%. So like this way you can define the text indent property. So let's see the practical for this text indent and text decoration first. Then we will see the different properties later on. So now here you can see this is the CSS text practical in which we will see this two property first, then we will see the different property later on. First one is the text indent and second one is what? The text decoration. Now normally this text decoration is used for removing the underline that is come by default in the anchor tag. So whenever you will use the anchor tag that is for defining any link. So whenever any link is there, the by default underline is there. So if you want to remove that underline, you can use this text decoration none property. Okay, so let's see this first. So here you can see in this document, here I have defined one anchor tag in which I have defined one link that is what? Click here. So first of all, see the output of this. So here you can see here this is the click here link. So here you can see the underline is there, but now I don't want the underline over here. So what I have to do? I have to remove this underline using the text decoration none property. So let's see here. Here just in the style property specify the this selector that is a text selector, or we can say the element selector, in which you have to define this text decoration property. Okay, just define the colon and after that you have to define its property value that is none. Now here the semicolon is there. Got it? So this will be removed. Okay, so here you can see Just execute it again, save it and execute it. Okay, so it will remove this underline from the click here. See here before we have executed, so it is underlined that. Now after defining the click here, there is no underline over here. So to remove this type of underline, you can use this text decoration none property. Now let's see the text indentation property. So for that, here you can see in this p tag, that is a paragraph tag. Here we have defined the P in P tag. Web development is the building and maintenance of the website. It is the work that happens behind the scene to make a website. Like we have just defined one paragraph about the web development. Okay, now here there is no any text indented right now. Okay, so here let's see first this output. We have already executed, so see the output over here. You can see that there is no any indentation is there. So now suppose I want to provide the indentation, and here so just use the suppose 50 pixel. So it will consider the 50 pixel indentation over here. So just refresh this practical, see here. So like this way you can define the this indentation. So this is the two property, that is text indentation and the text decoration. So now let's see the text alignment property. The text align property is used to set the horizontal alignment of the text, whether it is left justified, right justified, or the justified from both the sides, or you can justify it the center. You can define it in a center. So this property has the four property value, that is the right, left, justify, and center. Okay. So this you can use to define the justifications from where to justify on the web page. Then next property is the text transform property. The text transform property is used to specify the uppercase and lowercase in the text. So if you want to transform to the capitalize, then you can use the property capitalize. If you want to transform the text as only in the uppercase, you can use the value as the uppercase. And next one is the text transform in the lowercase. So if you want to transfer the font in the lowercase, then you can use it in the lowercase. So now here you can see these two property first. So here in the H1 element, H1 selector, we have used this two property, text align, that is center, and text transform, that is uppercase. Here you can use the lowercase, capitalize. Here you can use the left, right, justify, etc. Okay, so here let's see, and here also you can see here the text align we have used the justify. Okay, so the justifications will be there. Suppose right now I am not using this property. So what will be the output of this? Let's see. Again, remove this property, text transform uppercase. So by default, here you can see in H1 we have written CSS text properties. So here CSS is in capital letters and the text properties are there in the small letters. So let's see the output of this first. So here you can see the CSS text property is there. CSS is in capital letter here. Okay. Now here, let's see to change this. So suppose I am writing this text transform uppercase for what? For the H1 text. So here the whatever the content that is in the H1 text, that is CSS text properties, that will be converted into all the uppercase letters. Okay. Now here, just okay. So text alignment justify. I think by default this is justify. So let's see the change first of all. Okay, so here you can see this all the text that is converted into the uppercase letters, and this is the justifications. You can see the proper justifications from both the sides. Okay, now just change over here. Suppose, okay, so suppose I am doing here in place of justify, I am writing the left. Okay, and in place of the uppercase, I am changing it to the capitalized. So let's see the output of this. So here you can see the justification is removed. Okay, here this all text is left justified. Here you can see the space is more compared to the last execution. And here you can see this all things are the capitalized. This is already there in the capital letters. And here the text in text this word T is capitalized, in properties P is capitalized. Okay. Now let's see here the white space. The white space attributes allows you to prevent the text from wrapping until you place a break into your text. So until and unless you will not put the break, it will not wrap the content. So here you can write the property like this way: white space is equal to no wrap. Okay, and next property is the word spacing. So with the CSS attribute word spacing, you are able to specify the exact value of the spacing between your words. So word spacing should be defined with the exact values. So here you can see the word spacing, that is 10 pixel. Okay, so like this way you can define this property value. You will write the pixel values according to that. Word spacing will be there in the gap will be there in between the two words. Now next one is the letter spacing. So with the CSS attributes letter spacing, you are able to specify the exact value of the spacing between the letters. Word spacing defines between the words, and letter spacing defines the space between the letters, and it should be defined with the exact value. So here you can see the letter spacing is a 3 pixel. So the letter spacing, that will be in each and every letter there will be gap of the 3 pixel. So now let's see the practical for this. So let's see here. Here you can see in this paragraph tag, we have used this letter spacing and the word spacing. So here you can see right now just I have defined it as 0 pixel and 0 pixel. Just remove this right now and see the output by default that we have defined. So here you can see this is okay. So now let's define this. Suppose Control Z. I am first defining this word spacing. Now I am defining the letter spacing. Letter spacing, that is 3 pixel. So what will happen? See. So here you can see in between each and every letter there is a 3 pixels of a spacing. Okay, you can, if you will increase this pixel, suppose I am increasing to the 6 pixels, it will be double in size. So see here you can see. Got it? So like this way you can define the letter spacing if you want. Then suppose I am defining it as a 0 pixel, then it may be the overlapping are there. So you can see here, just refresh it. Okay, so and suppose I am writing it minus, if it is working or not, let's see. See here, it is working. Okay, so overlapping is that. So like this way you can define the letter spacing according to your choice. Now next one is, right now just define at a 0 pixel, and next one is the word spacing. Now word spacing, use suppose word spacing that is 10 pixel. So what will happen, see over here. Okay, so here you can see the gap between these two words are the 10 pixel. Now to see it proper way, just increase the size, so you will be have the better idea about the word spacing. So here you can see the like this way you can define the word spacing. Got it? Now let's see the next property. So here you can see the line height is there. The line height attributes will set the height of the line in the page. Okay, so line height 10 pixels. So that line height will be there 10 pixels. So let's see the output for this. Now here in this, you can see here, we will set the line height. Line height, that is 10 pixels. Suppose we are setting it as a 10 pixel. Now let's see. Just execute it. So here you can see the line height is a 10 pixel. Now suppose I am increasing the line height, that is to the 50 pixels. So you will have the better idea about. So what is the meaning of the line height? See here. Okay, so here this is the line height. Got it? So it is increasing if we are increasing in the value, it is decreasing if we are decreasing in the value. Suppose I am increasing to the 100 pixel. Just execute this. Got it? So this is the line height. Now next topic is the CSS positioning. So here the CSS positioning, that means what? The position property specifies the types of the positions method used for an element. So there are 5 different positions values are there, that is a static, relative, fixed, absolute and sticky. Okay, so let's see about this one by one. Now these are the CSS positioning keywords: top, bottom, left and right. Now the first one is the position static. Okay, so HTML elements are position static by default. So by default position of the HTML element is a static. The static position elements are not affected by the top, bottom, left and right properties. Then element with the position static is not positioned in any spatial way. It is always positioned according to the normal flow of the page. Okay, so whatever the normal flow of the page is that, according to that the static positions of your element will be there. Now next one is the position relative. Okay, so relative position changes the position of the HTML element relative to where it is normally appears. Okay, so left 20 adds the 20 pixel to the elements, that is the left position. So if you will write the left 20, then it will add the 20 pixel to the positions. So if you will write the left 20, it will go towards the right side. So you can use the two values top and left along with the position property to move an HTML element anywhere in the HTML document. So move left, that means use the negative value for the left if you want to move left side. Then move right, then use the positive value for the left. Move up, that means use the negative value for the top. Move down, that means use the positive value for the top. So remember this thing. So where you want to move, according to that you have to write this value. So note, you can use the bottom or right value as well in the same way as the top and left. So in place of this left and right, you can use the right and this bottom value. Now next one is the CSS position fixed. So the element is positioned relative to the browser window in the fixed position element will be in the same place even we scroll the screen. Okay, so you can use two values top and left along with the position property to move an HTML element anywhere in the HTML document. And here again the user can use the same value for that. Now here you can use the bottom or right values as well in the same way as a top and left. Like this way you can define the position fixed, top is equal to 50 pixel and left is equal to 100 pixel. Now next one is the position absolute. Okay, so an element with the position absolute is a position relative to the nearest position and its ancestor. However, if an absolute positions element has no position ancestor, it uses the document body and moves along with the page scrolling. So, okay, so it uses the document body, or if it is defined, for example, you have used one div, inside you have used the another div. So the inside div will see the positions according to the its parent div. Now next position is the position sticky. Okay, so an element with the position sticky is positioned based on the user's scroll positions. So a sticky element toggles between relative and the fixed depending on the scroll positions. So whenever you have defined the sticky positions, for example, you want to define the footer. So at the time you can use this sticky position. If you want to define the header, at the time also you can use this sticky position. Okay, so before ending this lecture, let's see the practical related to this. So now let's see this practical related to the CSS positions. So here you can see this is the first practical, the CSS fixed position. Now first let's see the CSS static position. This is the by default static positions are that we have just defined it as a static. But by default the static position is there. Now here you just execute this spectacle, so you will have the better idea about this. Here you can see this div element has a position, static element is there. So with the position static, it is not positioned in any special way, it is always positioned according to the normal flow of the page that we have seen in the slide. Okay, so if you will remove the static position from the CSS, then also there is no any change in it. So let's see it. So here you can see this is by default. Now suppose I am defining the CSS. Sorry, it is just position, position, static. First it is not defined and now we are going to define it. So you can see there is no any change in it. Both the outputs are same, you can see. See, this is without static position and this is with static positions. Both the outputs are same. Okay, now let's see. Now let's see this another positions, that is relative positions. So let's see this relative positions. Here you can see we have defined the positions that is relative for this division that we have defined here. So let's see the output for this. See here. Okay. Now here you can see we have used this right minus 30 pixel. Suppose I am using it as a positive value. In slide we have seen that is the left and top. Here we are using the right. So okay, so we have to exactly write the opposite way from the left. So here you can see if I write 30 pixels, so it will go in the left side. Okay, so like this way you can use, suppose I am just changing here left. So it will go right side. See here. So according to this positions, it will change this relative positions of this division. So like this way you can define the relative positions. Now next one is the uh, absolute position. So here you can see in this we have defined two div, that is one is a relative, one div that has the position relative and another that have the division that is have the position absolute. So let's see the output for this. So here you can see, okay, so this is the absolute, this is the main parent div in which we have defined the another div which has the relative absolute positions that is from this divisions. Okay, so an element with the position absolute is the position relative to the nearest position ancestor. Okay, so relative to the nearest position ancestor. So to see this relative nearest position ancestor, we have defined the two divs over here. So instead of the position relative to the viewport like fixed, etc. So here you can see just change in this minor. Here you can see we have defined the right 0. In place of right 0, just use the left 0. That means the left margin is 0. So you can see the just it will change its position relative to this div. See here. This will change its position relative to this div only. Here you can see. Now this is left 0. Now this is right 0. So this is the absolute positions relative to this div. So here you can see we have specified this div first division and inside we have defined this another division. So it will always work according to this div. Got it? Now next one is the CSS fixed position. So CSS fixed positions, that means what? Here you can see in the CSS fixed position, here you can see just we have defined this division fixed and this position is fixed. Okay, so here just execute this. Just a second. Okay, so now here you can see there is the divisions that we have defined its position fixed. So its position is fixed. So whenever you are scrolling down and up, its position is fixed. There is no change in its positions. because we have defined its position fixed bottom 0 and right 0. That's why. Suppose I am defining its in place of bottom 0, top 0. So just see this difference here in the output. Okay, so here you can see, just change it, top 0. Now let's see the another positions, that is sticky. So here you can see for this divisions we have defined its position as a sticky. Okay, so here you can see we have defined its position sticky. So whenever you will scroll down your document, so at that time its positions will be sticky, so it will not affect the scrolling. So let's see this output. Just a second. So here you can see. Okay, so whenever I am scrolling down, so you can see it is at their positions. Once the positions is once you are scrolling down, so it will not affect. It is sticky. Here you can see. Okay, so this is the sticky positions. Now, now let's say this practical. So you will have the better idea. So here first defined position is the sticky. Here you can see we have used this just as a text for defining this different positions. So first see the sticky positions. Here you can see this is the sticky. Now suppose I am scrolling down. So for the scrolling down you require the more text. So here you can see, suppose I am copying this thing again and again. Okay, so here just, okay, so here you can see still we required more. Hmm. Okay, so now here you can see you will have the better idea about this sticky position. Got it? So when I am scrolling it, but this still this division is not scrolling. Got it? So this is the sticky position, and by default its position is static. So suppose I am defining here the static position. So here it is a by default value. If we will not specify this, okay, so if we will scroll down, it is scroll down. Got it? Now suppose I am defining its position as a fixed. So it will be fixed to the particular defined. So here we have defined its divisions property. Here you can see we have defined the division property, height 100 pixel and width 200 pixel. Border is this, background color is this, but its position we have defined the top 10 pixel and left 30 pixel. So by default it will define at that position only. Whenever we have defined this static positions, it will just after this p tag. Okay, after this two p tag it will be there in the division, but here we have used the fixed position, so according to that it will set its position. So here you can see this is its fixed positions. So like this way you can use the different positions for the CSS. So thank you for watching. We will meet in the next lecture with a new topic. Thank you.